In Learning Objective A, we're going to talk about Venn diagrams and look at union, intersection, and mutually exclusive events. So if we define what these all mean, the union of sets A and B means that the two sets contain all the elements either in A or B. The math notation for union looks like this. A, and then it would be a capital U, B. An example of this might be, what if I had a bag of hats and there were 6 in the bag, and then I had a bag of mittens and there were 10 in that bag. For this, if I said, what is the union between these two sets, what is it in all the elements, I would say there's 16 elements in all. That's union. Now, the intersection of sets means this, that sets A and B, it contains only elements in A and B. The math notation for intersection is A, take that U and flip it upside down, and B. Now the way I try to remember it is this means and that letter N, this kind of looks like an N, a lowercase n. So that's how I remember the intersection is like an N, whereas the union looks like the U. Now what if we go back and look at our hat and mittens examples? Let me clarify this. What if I said of the 6 hats, 2 of them were black, and of the 10 mittens, 4 of them were black? So there are still 16 elements altogether. So what if this case said for A and B, what if event A was things that keep me warm and things that are black in this bag? Well, in that case, there would be 6 elements that overlap. So that would be the intersection. Now, mutually exclusive means this, is that sets A and B have no elements in common. The math notation for that says the A intersects B equals, it's a 0 with a slash through it, means an empty set. It equals nothing. And continuing on with the hats and mittens, what if the question here was for set A and B, if set A stood for an element that has a thumb hole and B is an element I wear on my head. Well, it has to be both A and B. In this case, there's not going to be anything in this group of 16 that both has a thumb hole and can be worn on my head. So it would be an empty set. Now down here we have a visual picture of 3 different Venn diagrams. One represents union, one's intersection, and one's mutually exclusive. The union means everything together of the 2 sets. Therefore, here's the union of A and B, everything is included. The intersection is just where they overlap. So what A and B have in common would be where they overlap here on this circle. Mutually exclusive means they have nothing in common. These 2 right here don't overlap anywhere, therefore they have nothing in common and would be considered mutually exclusive.